Shalom. We the Israelites College. Start out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander GEN.YAHANNA. Today is the Brotherhood class. We're going to be going over Brotherhood scriptures, and basically getting deep into the Brotherhood, you know what I mean, what Brotherhood is and what it's all about. Give me 1 second. All right, now, if you have any questions, go ahead and answer them questions. We're gonna get it popping with some of the first scriptures. You know what I'm saying? What is Brotherhood all about? How do you? Because what black people always talk about is how to solve black on black crime. What's black on black crime? It's black on black crime. Like that's the worst thing in history. You understand? Is black on black crime. Okay, black on black crime is a result of this. You see what I'm saying? That's a result of the curses in Deuteronomy. Give me that scripture, Baba Gashad, Deuteronomy 28. Black on black crime is a result of the curses. It ain't gonna be stopped through, you know, some regular person's idea, or some you know, scientific thing or something that black people need to do. It ain't gonna stop until black people come to the truth. At the end of the day, until they come into the I.S.U.P.K, the home of the truth, then you'll see black on black crime go down. All right, then you'll see a change in those numbers, because they're not counting the abortions. Abortions is a way of black on black crime as well. You see what I'm saying? A black woman killing a black baby. You see what I'm saying? That's a black on black crime. Okay? So the brother's getting some at the door. We're gonna get that scripture. Deuteronomy 28. It says there'll be evil hatred towards our brother. Oh, okay. All right. I'll start. Take over the class, Bob Kasha. Watch out there. The wires right there.
Okay, that scripture is Deuteronomy 28, verse 54.
I'm gonna take a file home. I'll be back.
Okay. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate. Now, what does this mean by tender and very, very delicate? We got to think, this don't mean he was, feminine or soft or any of that. It means, this is talking about the tender love that he had for his brother. He see his brother, like the law say, if his brother's ox was in a ditch, he go, oh, let me go and help this out, let me go help this situation out right here. And, he would also always choose his brother above any heathen or any of that, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother. This is where you get the stare downs, brothers, two brothers can't even lock eyes without some type of animosity, some type of beef going between the two. These guys don't even know each other, right? Don't have any problems with each other, never even saw each other before. But then they lock eyes, all of a sudden they become like two pit bulls, that somebody's putting together to fight. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother and towards the wife of his bosom. Now, think about this for a second, because now, see, this is what fake Israelites do. Fake Israelites say things like, they say things like, well, it's just the curses. Well, it's just the curses. Without they don't even want to come with a layout for a solution for this. They don't even, they just blame it. They just say, well, it's the curses. Yeah, well, that is true. But see, this is what people don't understand. The curses actually have as much power as what you agree with. The curses and the blessings always hung over our head. People, you got the fake Israelite groups. They will lead you to think that the curses only started in slavery. Transatlantic slave trade is when the curses started. No, the curses have always hung over our heads. Hell, we was in the curses in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is they vary in degree, right? In these other nations, we were separate from those nations, so all the curses didn't have the full power like that. What started to give the curses the full power here in America? Because the curses have never had as much power as they have like right now. Because in times past, we weren't in agreement with the curses like what we are now. That's the thing right there. We always, even when we was in Babylon, we were separate from the Babylonians. Separation, starts to alleviate the pressure of the curses all in itself, because you're among your own, like you're supposed to be. We're separate. Even during the time of, in the time it was in America before Martin Luther King, we were separate. So we didn't undergo the fullness of the curses. That's what Martin Luther King's dream actually did for us. And Martin Luther King's dream had nothing to do with brotherhood, nothing at all. You can't, promote brotherhood among your people while trying to join them to another people. You're promoting a hatred against your own people. Is what you're actually doing. Whenever we're joined with another race, we have a tendency to love that race more than our own people. And we're the only race of people on the face of the earth that's actually like that. We become traitors against our own people quick. All right. His eye shall be evil towards his brother and towards the wife of his bosom. Now, this is where, you get the domestic violence and all of that. His eye is evil, becomes evil towards her. Her eye is evil towards him. Them two hating each other. They can't stand each other, right? And towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. And towards them too. For one thing, he really doesn't see anything out of them. White people love white children because they see some type of future for white children. But then when you got a man who has children and his children is slaves, and they're going to have to work just as, he knows that his children is just going to have to work just as hard as what he got to work. 3, 4, 5 generations down the line or harder, it causes his eyes to go dim towards his own children for the hope of their future. And a person really doesn't love a child that they can't see a future for. It just is what it is. They can't, they don't love that child because they don't see nothing in the future for that child, other than them being a slave just like they are. Let me see some of these questions. Oh, any questions? All right. So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat. Now think about this for a second. When it talks about eating the flesh of the children, what are we doing? What are our people doing today? When you got a black father in the home, he's still destroyed with Christianity and the love of white people. He's still destroyed with that, even though he's physically in the home. That's why they saying now black men should be in the home. Black men should be in the home. When they were saying like in the 80s, early 80s, yeah, get the nigga out the house. Get him out the house. Now what are they saying? Black men should be in the home. You know why? Because they done destroyed you even more than what you was at first. Now you're supposed to be raising your children up with some, integrity, even though if you don't know the scriptures like that, you're supposed to be raising them up with some type of pride and a race, but instead, what we're raising them up as to be the next football star. Right? We're allowing children to get their bones broken up, to be tackled real hard, get concussions and get all the damn wind knocked out of them, just at the thought that when he grows up, he's going to buy us a house. We ready to, get the helmet knocked off this little dude. You know what I'm saying? We get him tackled by some bigger kid that outweighs him by 50 pounds, just at a thought that he's going to buy his parents a house and going to make a life for them to where daddy can go and trick with as many horses he wants. Mama can buy as many weaves as she wants and get all the little things, the trinkets in life that she's been wanting. Shalom of Christ, word. I'm at the school. I'm filling in for you for a second, Captain, at the barracks. I'm filling in until you get here. You can take right over. All right. Shalom of Christ. All right. What as I was saying, so daddy can do, they can just live, just the pleasures that they want at this kid's expense. That's what this scripture, one of the things that this scripture is talking about when he talks about eating the flesh of the children, right? Pretty much sacrificing their child to sports or whatever. Sports is one of the prime examples of that. Or, hell, raise the kid up, teach them how to cut up dope. A lot of fathers is teaching their children that. Teaching them how to cut up dope, how to get down on the block, how to hustle, right? Knowing good well that somebody can come blow him away because he got the sack or he can do 30 years in prison. That's the same thing as eating the child. It's the same thing. Eating of his flesh. When the nations eat of our flesh as a nation, they're not always literally taking a bite out of us. What they're actually doing is economically destroying us, morally destroying us, and using us to make themselves fat and rich, to where they can gain, they can get fat, and we can diminish and shrivel away as a people and waste away. That's why the curse talk about, our dead bodies shall be meat unto the fowls of the air and to the beasts of the field. That's why I said that. Because he hath nothing left him in the siege, and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. And do they distress us in all of our gates? Yes, they do. Regardless of where you go, the oppression in California is just like the oppression in New York. The oppression in D.C. is just like the oppression in Atlanta, Georgia. In all of our gates, these are our gates, our ghettos. We're oppressed on all sides. And a lot of the times we see our child as a tool for our use. But if he don't get that contract, then he's nothing. one thing that smashes all of that is brotherhood. Because brotherhood inside the I.S.U.P.K, we teach the value that's up on the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man first, and the woman and the children. You know, this is what brotherhood's about. Brotherhood, you have to see value upon that person. Matter of fact, it's your responsibility to put the value upon that person. This is your responsibility. You know, they shouldn't. You know, it's one thing for you. You know, for a brother to earn something, for him to earn merits and this and that. But this is what favor is. We don't put favor upon one another, and that's part of our big problem.
Right.
You as a favor actually is an unmerited thing, right? It's an unmerited thing. Favor, you know, favor is the reason why, like, say for instance, someone goes up on a job, he's way less qualified than a that's applying for the job, right? Say for instance, if a Jewish man goes to some company, you know, and he wants to work there, and then you have a black man, you know, that has way better credentials, and he's been this overachiever, and he's been all of this and that. Who's going to have the favor in that situation? That right. Jewish man is going to have a measure of favor only because he's Jewish. That's it. Right. He can be less qualified or any of that. And see, what blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, what we do is we'll own a business and we'll say, well, you know, I just hire who's ever able for the job. That's the way that we think. And guess what? That's why we're on the bottom.
Yeah, right.
We're on the bottom for that type of mentality, for that type of mindset. No one else ever thinks like that. And we think it's funny because we own a little business with 2 employees, if that, you know what I'm saying? Right. And we think that we got all the answers to business. We got all the answers. We got 2 employees that you can barely even pay, that ain't got no health benefits, no 401k, and none of that, right?
Right.
But somehow we just know how businesses ran, but at the same time, as a whole, we're at the bottom. People don't respect you when you don't show favor to your own.
Right.
They don't respect you. Why should they? Right? Why should they? And guess what? You know, in a sense, you really can't even blame them for not showing you any respect. You know what I'm saying? Because what they're disrespecting you is actually teaching you that you should have favor up on your own, and you're not learning the lesson. Not unless you're in the I.S.U.P.K.
Right.
Okay.
Shalom, Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? I'm Officer Azar. You know what I'm saying? Clap it up for Officer Rock for holding it down for me. White man is the devil. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Keeping a nigga on the goddamn slave, knowing that I got places to be, knowing that I got a nation to build. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn the white man and everything he stands for. White man is the devil, the Bible speaks of. You know what I'm saying? Been oppressing blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians since the day he's got on his, since the day he was fucking born. You know what I'm saying? It's time for that to end. And the only way for that to end is to join yourselves to your brothers in the I.S.U.P.K under Commander GEN.YAHANNA. You understand? He's the only man that's fit to lead blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And the man that he raised up under him is the only man that's fit to lead. You understand? And that's just the way the course of power goes. You know what I'm saying? Don't be mad at us for it. Be mad at the Lord. Because he's the one that put it in place. Whether you believe it or not, like it or not, accept it or not. You understand? I.S.U.P.K is the home of the truth. Point blank, period. And today, you know what I'm saying, as Officer Trump was saying, this is the Brotherhood class. And Brotherhood is such an important part of building this damn nation. You understand? Like nothing's more important than this goddamn brotherhood, man. You understand? I'm paraphrasing here, but the Lord said, you know what I'm saying? Christ said, you know what I'm saying? No greater love had he than him that laid down his life for his brother. You understand? And that's what we do in I.S.U.P.K. We lay down our life. You know what I'm saying? What we doing right now, teaching these classes. Here come Cap, sir. I was teaching these classes right now. You know what we doing? We laying down our lives for our brothers. It don't necessarily mean dying for your brothers, even though that's a part of it too. But sacrificing for your brothers. And that's all we do. That's all we've ever done. That's all we're going to continue to do. Shalom, Yahweh, sir. That's all we're going to continue to do is sacrifice for our brothers. For blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you understand? Because those are the only people that matter to us in I.S.U.P.K. You understand? And last week, during class, we was in Genesis. And that's what I would like to go back to. My fault, this is goddamn member alert. Some little white devil being kidnapped. We don't give a damn about that. We only give a damn about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Give a damn about some white devil being kidnapped. All of them need to disappear. I hope I wake up in the morning and every damn white, what is them, Amaleks? Amalekites. Yeah, every one of them is missing. You know what I'm saying? Every goddamn Korean, Asian, goddamn African. I hope I wake up in the morning and all of them are gone. You understand?
Right.
So righteous man can be in leadership. So the I.S.U.P.K can take over like it's meant to be. You understand? And what I was saying was last week we was in Genesis. That's what I want to go back to. I want to go back to Genesis, and I want to pick up the story of Joseph. Because, you know what I'm saying, people don't understand how hardcore Joseph was. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying, how hardcore he was when it came to this truth and serving the Most High. You understand? Like, Joseph was so goddamn hardcore, and he did everything that he was supposed to do when it came to protecting his brothers, showing forgiveness and all of that. You understand? His brothers tried to destroy him, but he showed the most love that any person could ever do in forgiving his brothers and helping to build his nation with his brothers, helping to build his brothers up. You understand? Pharaoh put him in charge of Egypt, gave him what we like to call tactical command over all of Egypt. You understand?
Right.
And he built that, and he did what he had to do. The Lord was with him. He made Egypt prosperous.
Yeah, I still got to get the bottom part of the.
And everything flourished in Egypt.
Preacher side.
Because, you know what I'm saying, the Lord was with him. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord being with him was a powerful, powerful thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up from here back to the barracks.
And the Lord being with him was a powerful thing, man. Because that's what you want. You want the Lord to be with you. You understand? But there's only one way the Lord is going to be with you, and that's joining I.S.U.P.K under Commander GEN.YAHANNA. You understand? Because we are the ones serving the Most High. We are the ones passing the laws. You understand? I mean, keeping the law, Salakia. Now, what we will be doing is passing judgment once, you know, the Most High Christ comes back. Then we're going to be going around putting you devils to death, putting all you heathen nations to death. Anybody who's not serving the law, statutes, and commandments is going down. You understand? We're going to be putting y'all straight to death. Because that's what needs to be done in order to build this righteous nation. You understand?
That's right.
In order to have blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in authority the way it's supposed to be. Now, give me a second. I'm trying to pull up where I left off with. Like I said, we was in Genesis 37. Shalom, Lord Christ, warriors.
Shalom, Lord Christ, sir. How about you?
We're going to get it in Genesis 37 and no, not 37. We're going to get it in Genesis 40 and all right, we're going to get it in Genesis 40 and 13. If I could, warrior, would you pick up there for me? Now, to go back on what, sir? To go back on what was going down. Now we're gonna go back a little bit. We really actually further along, but I want to pick up here because there's some good points that I missed last time that I want to go ahead and get together. You know what I'm saying? Because like Joseph, man, this is one hardcore brother, man. It ain't too many people that could go through the trials and tribulations that this man did and still hold fast to the Most High. Like the Christian church teaches you to give up on the Most High the second you don't get your goddamn way. The second you don't get that new job, the second that girl don't want to get you no play. Like niggas betray Christ over anything. You know what I'm saying? It don't take much. It don't take much to kill your spirit because you've been so Christianized. No, that's not a word, but we're going to make it one, damn it. You've been so Christianized by the Christian church. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got a weak spirit. You got a weak soul. You weak. And here's the thing. The only way to gain that strength, once more, is the I.S.U.P.K under Commander GEN.YAHANNA.
Right.
The proof is in the pudding. Look at all these goddamn strong-ass warriors every city you go to. We have taken over the known world. You understand? There is no place on earth that the I.S.U.P.K is not at. I think we got a school in Alaska somewhere. I'm not sure. You understand? We're everywhere.
Right.
North Pole, South Pole. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, in the igloo. Teaching classes in igloos. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to name the places we ain't at. The moon, Mars, Jupiter. You understand? We everywhere, damn it. And that's what it takes. This is, look, that's strong souls right there. That's how you build a nation. That's how you serve the Most High God. The brothers that in the I.S.U.P.K had the same spirit as Joseph. No matter what we at, no matter what kind of pressure we up under, we gonna serve the Most High. We got brothers in the prison system changing the food dietaries because they so damn one West. You know what I'm saying? The goddamn heathen, what's his name, Morton. It's like, let's get this man his food. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He don't eat what we eat. And this man is such a monster in here, such a righteous man, just like Joseph when he was in prison. You know what I'm saying? Putting brothers in I.S.U.P.K over all the other inmates. You get what I'm saying? Because we such righteous men. Let's get it in the scriptures. Let's go ahead and pick up Genesis 43 and 13.
The book of Genesis, chapter 40, verse 13. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thine head and restore thy unto thy place.
Now, what Joseph doing is he's breaking down the dream. You understand? He's breaking down the dream because he was like I said, he was in prison. He was falsely accused by a goddamn Hamite, thinking that he wants some wolf punani. You know what I'm saying? Like sleeping with one of these heathens is like sleeping with a goddamn animal. You understand? If you're gonna sleep with a white woman, you might as well sleep with your pit bull or whatever kind of dog you got. You understand? You're gonna sleep with an African, you might as well sleep with a cow or whatever it is that they let piss on their head. You understand?
Right.
These is dirty, disgusting, filthy, heathen nations, and we should not breed with them. It's funny because you understand that when it comes to your animals. You understand that when it comes to your dogs. I want a full-blooded purebred. I can't breed them with just anything. You understand that, but you don't understand it when it comes to your sons, your daughters, you. You understand? Right. Keep your blood pure. The Most High chose us for a reason. It's because we're bigger, stronger, faster. You understand? Smarter. You know what I'm saying? There's no nation on the face of this planet. There's no country on the face of this planet that the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man didn't build. It only exists because we built it. It only flourishes because we're in it. Keep your bloodline pure and stay away from these goddamn heathens.
Damn right.
Let's get some more, warrior.
Come. And thou shalt deliver Pharaoh's cup into his hand. Right.
Keep going.
Come. After the former manner, when thou was his butler. Verse 14. Come. But think on me when it shall be well with thee.
You know what I'm saying? And that's all any Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian really want, man. We just want a little goddamn credit. Salaki in my language. Just a little credit for the things that we've done. Just a little credit for building up the white man's kingdom. You know what these devils got the nerves to say? They got the nerves to say that they built America. Go ahead, sir.
There's also a lesson right there that even Joseph had to learn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Joseph had to learn the lesson to not rely upon no heathen to promote you, to give you what you think that you need. Or right. You think your just due or your just reward. You know what I'm saying? Most High made their circumstance for a reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With Joseph, because Joseph was trusting in, in that cupbearer. You know what I'm saying? I mean the cupbearer to help him get out of prison.
Right.
But it did not happen. Because they don't exercise the brotherhood with us like what they would do with one another.
That's such a heavy point, sir. And even like when it comes to today's time on your slavery, Why are you trusting in a goddamn heathen to do anything or to help you or to promote you or to look out for you or to speak on your behalf?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What these heathens gonna do, they're gonna let you do all the hard work and take all the damn credit for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's that simple. That's their game plan. Go ahead, sir.
Just like what they did Joseph after Joseph died.
Right.
Did the same thing to him. He made the United States of Egypt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He made that. It was his, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
What did they do? As soon as he died,
Said, I know not Joseph.
They knew not Joseph. Knew him not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He knew of him, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He did not know. He's like, I don't want to admit that a nigga actually did this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn
and
right.
we went under oppression immediately.
Damn right. And history repeats itself because the same damn thing happens in America. The same damn thing happens in America. Even when you look at something simple like sports. Now we see that black athletes take a team, a crappy, trashy team, and lead them to the championship. And who gets all the goddamn credit? The white head coach. Right. This head coach took these niggers and coached them. You know, so like, you know what I'm saying? That's the first thing he said. He took all these niggers and coached them to a perfect season. Like he was out there playing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he got the talent. You know why that white man's coaching? Because he don't have the skill set to do it his damn self. You get what I'm saying? And he got white privilege, so therefore he was put in a position of power to always rule over blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
You understand? A black man can't get credit for nothing. Nothing. You understand? And it's been that way since Genesis. We're about to get some more in the book. Let's get it.
Come. And shew kindness, and pray thee unto me, and make mention of me unto Pharaoh, and bring me out of his house.
You know what I'm saying? Look, help me to get up out of this situation the way I'm helping you. Listen, that's one thing that you can never, ever do. You can never count on these heathen nations to hold their word.
Right.
Ask the Native American Indians. You understand? Ask even the other heathen nations when it comes to the other heathen nations. You know what I'm saying? They never hold their word. You can never trust it. It don't matter how big or how small it is. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, because every other nation, they play in the win.
Right.
We don't even know we in the fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Every other nation, they are playing the win. They know that they're at war with the other nations. Even though it might be a cold war at the time. Might not have heated up. But they understand. And their mindset is based on, you know, the prosperity of their own.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And it's so funny that you say that, and that's such a heavy point that you say that, because even when you look at the heathen nations when they go to their places of worship, you don't see blacks, Hispanics, or Native Indians in there.
Right.
But you always see them in the Christian church. You see all sorts of heathens in the Christian church.
Right.
In the Christian church, when they're preaching, once more, they're keeping you docile, they're keeping you weak, they're keeping you soft, they keep teaching you to love their oppressor.
Right.
That's what they're doing. And it ain't just the white man that's oppressing us. It ain't just the white man that's ruling over blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. It's every single one of these damn nations, man.
Right.
It's every one of them, from the African to the Korean to the Asian to the Chinese to you name them, they ruling over us. You understand? We've been over here for over 400 years in America, and we don't have any prominent, dominant black-owned business, organization, corporation. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that's black-owned, the only thing that's FUBU, for us, by us, is the I.S.U.P.K of the Commander GEN.YAHANNA.
Right.
Point blank, period. You will never see any kind of goddamn heathen in here running any kind of department whatsoever. The finances, the goddamn maintenance department. You will never catch a heathen in here. You understand?
Right.
Never. This is the only thing for us, by us. And look how strong the I.S.U.P.K is.
Right.
Look, like I said, man, we everywhere. It's easier to name the places we're not. Like I said, the moon, Mars, Jupiter.
Right.
That's the bottom of the ocean. Shit, we might have a camp there. It's on Earth, ain't it? It's on Earth, right? Only place we ain't at is outer space, damn it. We everywhere. You understand? Serving the Most High, doing the Most High's will. You understand? Let's get some more.
Verse 15.
Go ahead.
For indeed I was stolen away out of the land of the Hebrews,
Or the land of the who?
Of the Hebrews.
The Africans.
The Hebrews.
I was part of every nation.
Hebrews.
The white man.
Land of the Hebrews.
You understand? Listen, let me tell you something. That's such a heavy point right there. I'm glad we went back because I want to make this point. Understand, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you weren't stolen from the land of Africa. You get what I'm saying? You were stolen from your land, the land of the Hebrews. Like Joseph just said. You understand? We fled down to Africa. We weren't born in Africa. We didn't live in Africa. We were born in Jerusalem. You understand?
Right.
We was born, like the Bible says, the true motherland. Go ahead, sir.
Powerful points you're breaking out because, you know, in that scripture, it said the land of the Hebrews, right?
The Hebrews.
Even though that land was inside the land of Ham.
Right.
It was still recognized as the land of the Hebrews.
Damn right.
Just like when we was in Africa, every word that we dwelt was named after us to pinpoint the people that are actually there.
Right.
So it wasn't a bunch of Africans enslaving Africans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We was in the ghetto there just like what we are here.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn right, sir.
You know?
Heavy ass point. You know what I'm saying? We've always been in the ghettos, in the most desolate lands, and we've always made it thrive. You know why? Because the Lord is with us. Go ahead, sir.
I'll make one more point. Like say for instance, you know, in Louisville, you know, in the neighborhood that I live at, and where my real live at now,
right?
You know, you got a bunch of Hamites there, and I used to ask people the question. I'm like, you know, you got a bunch of Hamites, you got, you know, Judites and everything, and Levites and everything there
right.
too. I asked them the question. I'm like, if the paddy wagon was to come through, would they just mistakenly nab up Africans too?
Right.
They would not.
Hell no, they wouldn't.
They didn't do that in Africa.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They didn't do that in Africa either.
Heavy ass point.
They
sir.
know who they coming from. Greystone Apartments.
Right.
They used to send the paddy wagons and the narcs through there all the time. They come through. They coming from for the tribe of Judah. You know what I'm saying? Specifically in that matter. They're not trying to nab up no, you know, the people from Sudan and all of that, thinking that they us and all of that. They're not going to jail. They're not getting thrown in the paddy wagon.
Sir.
It's gonna be us.
That's why you've never seen an African gunned down on the streets. You've never seen an African mistakenly being mistaken for a Judite.
Right.
You've never seen that. You've never seen an African mother on TV. Oh, get the what to do. I can't believe this has happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're gonna go back to Wakanda. You know, you've never seen that.
Right.
You've never seen it because they know. Every heathen nation knows. The white man knows. The Asian knows. Like there's a damn Asian. Well, we call it the heathen spot. That's what we call it. Me and Monterey. We call it the damn heathen spot because it's all the heathen nations are in there. It's like a little grocery store, and they're all working together, and they all speak the same language. I'm not sure what they're speaking, but the Koreans are speaking it, the Africans are speaking it, the Chinese are speaking it. Like they communicate with each other like it's nothing.
Man, that is so true what you're saying. You seeing something nowadays that you didn't even see, like, you know, 15 years ago.
Right.
Like 15 years ago, it will be all Arabs in the store.
Right.
But now, what are they doing? The Arabs is hiring Ethiopians.
Right.
You know what I'm
They're
saying?
doing
Ethiopians, they're hiring.
As long as they can rule over us,
right?
They're gonna come together.
That's all that matters.
Right.
And they speak the same language, one to another. You know what I'm saying? The language that we don't understand.
Right. Like we was in there, man, and it's so funny because when we go in there, they look at us all extra crazy. They like,
right.
But these are niggas. Look at
they already know.
Like, our whole spirit is different.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Like, I'm gonna make this quick point, then we're gonna get some more in the scriptures. Like, you have never seen an African wearing something like, man, that's cold. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna rock that. You have never seen an African driving something like, man, that car is hard. Right. I gotta get one of those. You have never seen that, never done that. You get what I'm saying? You be like, man, look at that nasty, man. Why is feet all ashy wearing them goddamn stuff? You know what I'm saying?
Why in the wintertime, when it's 10 degrees out, does he have on sandals with no socks?
Right. You looking at him like, man, this dirty, stinky animal. You know what I'm saying? That's how you looking at him. But then when it comes to the tribe of Issachar, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to them, you see them, the so-called Mexicans, you see them with some clothes on, what you say? Damn, that's hardcore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They broke out with the Dickies and the Chucks. What niggas start doing? Rocking Dickies and Chucks. Then you start seeing them with the low rider cars with the airbags and the switches. What niggas do, man? That car is cold. Right. Let me, you know what I'm saying? We was all about the big rims. We had to go get some little rims and throw some switches on there. Now you see niggas. I'm saying? We got that from the
We've
tribe.
always been
Go ahead, sir.
like we've always been a real stylish people,
Right.
You know, and here's the funny thing about it. Now, this shows also a lack of brotherhood, and people that do this really need to check their goddamn self, because they'll see some style that we have. We've always been a stylish people. We've always been that way. I mean,
Scripture say we the
that's in our
salt of the
blood.
earth.
You know,
the
they
salt.
make it right. They like we're stupid, and something's wrong with us behind being like that.
Right.
While they sitting there, you know, looking at the white man as being something very smart. They wearing a faded out jeans with a hole in the jeans and all of that.
Extra skinny and tight.
Yeah, like you know, kind of like the bummish type of, you know, white dudes and everything.
Right.
Trying to be like that. Like that's the smart thing to do. The white man's like that because he's a fugitive.
Right.
If you don't rob, you're a bank robber. You know what I'm saying? You can't run around looking like you robbed a bank, can you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta be down. You dress down. That's why the Jewish man and the white man and all of them, they dress down because they're fugitives.
Right. They trying to blend. They trying to blend in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
we the salt of the earth, so we trying to blend out. We like,
exactly.
look at me. You know what I'm saying?
They trying to blend in. We trying to stand out.
Right.
Like you just said. I mean, hell, look at all our kings and the people that we, you know what I mean? That's in our blood. That's in our DNA to be like that.
Right.
I mean, hell, you even look at, like, say, for instance, I watched a documentary, you know, about, it was called Black in Latin America.
Right.
They went over to Vietnam with the war babies and everything, the ones that was fathered by black fathers.
Right.
Dude over there, you know how dusty, dirty they are over there, right?
Right.
Dude had on a gold chain.
You
know what I'm saying?
Something in the spirit was like, man, I'm gonna watch the shit out this
gold chain.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
That's
even
real.
in the dustiness, he still had
Somehow he came up on that thing.
Right.
Somehow he's like, man, I'm gonna make this thing myself.
Right.
Let's get some more in the scriptures, man.
Come on. Book of Genesis, chapter 40, verse 15, mid-verse. And here also have I done nothing that they should put me into the dungeon.
Real quick, like that relates to today's time. How many innocent blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are locked up? You understand? Like that man, the only thing he did was serve the Most High, and he's put in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like that's here in America. You understand? That's what we live in right now. So many brothers have done absolutely nothing, and they're in there doing jail. Like it was a brother, I can't remember his name, man, but he got locked up for a crime he didn't commit. And when he went in there, man, that place destroyed that brother. You know what I'm saying? He was fighting every damn day. It was a Netflix special about it. I'm mad I can't remember his name. But he ended up getting out. They gave him a little money and stuff, but that money couldn't pay for what he lost, what he suffered through. You understand? And it's sad because that brother ended up killing himself, man. That brother ended up killing himself. I wish somehow, you know what I'm saying, that brother could have came into the truth, man. But he's gonna be reborn, and he's gonna be in his truth, because like the scriptures say, all of Israel will be saved. Man. Go ahead, sir.
That, you know what? That's almost like, remember the movie Life?
Yeah, with Martin Lawrence.
Right. Remember when they got out?
Right.
And the whole world was just so different. It was too much for him.
Yeah, and what did he do? He was looking at the dudes. He was like, what the? You know what I'm saying? He was like, he couldn't believe it.
Man, look, they got locked up during the time of the horse and buggy time. They put out the cars and stuff. Like, what the hell is these?
Buses,
radios,
portable radios.
Yeah,
niggas is rocking big old afros.
Like, what the hell? Yeah. And then they talk to people, you know what I'm saying? You know, dude, I mean, just think about it. You know, when that dude Cali Muscle, he served like a smaller amount of time. So he came out eating Jack Mac and eating the same stuff that he was eating when he was in prison. But just imagine somebody that's been in there for 30 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's funny that you say that, man, because you know what I'm saying? Not to delve too deep into my background, but man, I did a little time, man, and when I came out, I was still eating the same stuff. I was sleeping on the floor. Like the hard floor was more comfortable than my damn bed.
Right.
You know
My brother came out
like I had to readjust. Like damn, you know. Right. And I didn't even serve no heat. Like brothers is in there doing 10, 15.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I barely did a year and it messed with my head.
Yeah, I did 6 months.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It jacked me up. I came out like it was like so much change in just that short amount of time. You feel me? I know that's right.
I still eat chili and noodles.
Right.
I got 97. I got out 97.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like so much change in just that short amount of time. So just imagine serving years. like brothers is doing now, like Joseph did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you coming out and everything to change on you. You know what I'm saying? And only through the spirit of the Most High is brothers able to, you know what I'm saying, survive that and adapt to that and become stronger in a new world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's get some more on the scriptures, warrior.
When the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good, he said unto Joseph, I also was in my dream, and behold, I had 3 white baskets on my head. Verse 17, and in the uppermost basket there was of all manner of bakemates for Pharaoh. And the bird,
baked meats.
Baked meats.
Yeah.
Baked meats for Pharaoh. And the birds did eat them out of the basket,
Right.
up on my head. Verse 18, and Joseph answered and said, this is the interpretation thereof. The 3 baskets are 3 days. Verse 19, yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thy head from off thee, and shall hang thee on a tree, and the bird shall eat thy flesh from off thee.
So lucky warrior, for time's sake, let's pick up at 41 and 14.
Khan. Book of Genesis, chapter 41, verse 14. Then Pharaoh sent.
All right, real quick. My fault. Real quick. Now, we picking up where Pharaoh had the dream, right? So, you know, he broke them dreams down for them heathens. Both of them got out and forgot about him. One lived, one died. The one that lived forgot instantly as soon as he got out. You know what I'm saying? But you shouldn't expect nothing else from a damn heathen.
Right.
That's what they're going to do. They're always going to forget about you. You are not in their mind. You are not in their heart. You understand? And the only reason he even remembered Joseph was because he was trying to get some more good graces with Pharaoh.
Right.
Go ahead, sir.
And at the same time, too, it was to the point to where they needed him.
Right.
They needed him.
Right.
They couldn't get around it. No
Right.
other way.
Right.
You know, nobody else could interpret the dream. Yeah, and that's one thing when you're dealing with this society, because people looking at, you know, things like job security and stuff like that. You ain't got no job security unless you have an uncommon genius. You know what I'm saying? Unless your genius and whatever it is that you do is just so uncommon that they need you to the point where they will fall without you.
Right.
Just like George Washington Carver.
Right. And the devil's such a damn monster and beast. He'd try to get along, even if he know he needs you. What he'd do is he'd get rid of you anyway and then come back later. Like it wasn't my decision. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to let you go. I had to. I have bosses to answer to too. But we'd like to bring you back. That's how much of a devil he is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to try to make it work without you if he can.
Yeah.
But like when you got a skill set that's so great, he's going to try to bring you back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody in here knows what I'm talking about. We've all went back, like we've all had the opportunity to go to old jobs again.
Right.
Why you just experienced this recently? You know what I'm saying? Your skill set was so much. He was like, yeah, I wanted you to come back. I'm mad you left. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But that's once more because we do things that nobody else can do.
Right.
You understand? We are that race of people. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. I mean, man, excuse my French, we the shit. You know what I'm saying? No toilet paper. You know what I'm saying? For real.
That's what it is.
For real. It is what it is.
Right.
We are that race of people. You know what I'm saying? America wouldn't be what it is right now if it wasn't for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Damn right.
You understand? If it wasn't for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, nothing on the face of this planet would exist. We created the light bulb, the telephone, the car, the engine, tires. I'm pretty sure it was a black man that invented the wheel. I'm not sure about this directly, but I'm pretty sure they try to make it seem like it was a white caveman. I'm pretty sure it was a nigga. Go ahead, sir.
I mean, hell, you think about it, if the first man over made was black.
Right.
You
He
know,
had to
common
do it.
sense, common sense come into play. Okay, I don't want to scoop this across the ground.
Right.
So what can I do? Okay, round. Something that's round. Set it on top of it.
Right.
Simple as that.
Will it on, right.
Yeah.
And that's such a heavy point because whenever you watch the so-called History Channel, notice the quotations, you know what I'm saying? Like when they show, Egypt and they show the Jews in slavery in Egypt, they always show some goddamn white devil. You know what I'm saying?
I see one thing though, but here's what they'll do though. Sometimes they'll flicker something
that's black.
Yeah, and the word they was all black.
Right.
Just like they had a car commercial come out a while back. It was a car commercial. You can't find this car. You can't find this commercial nowhere now. But it was with the Aztecs. But all the Aztecs.
I've seen it.
You seen it? You seen
I've
that?
seen it.
You
I
seen
know
that?
what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, they were all, you know what I'm saying?
Dark skin, yeah.
Not only that, but they was like our shirt black.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I've seen that.
They showed a flicker of it for a second.
They made him take that shit off the
head. You can't find it nowhere. You can't find it. It was Aztec. It was to that Aztec vehicle.
Right.
Remember that Aztec vehicle?
Yes, sir.
It was almost like a little SUV.
I remember. Because I was watching it with the family. I said, look at all these goddamn subliminals they putting out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They even had the pyramid right there.
Right. Yeah. You the first person I ever seen that remembers that commercial.
Yeah.
I asked other people about it. They to them it never existed.
Exactly.
They only heard it maybe 3 or 4 times maybe.
That's because it wasn't funny to them. They only remember funny shit and stupid
shit. They don't want you to see certain things though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They showed it on purpose, just like they did when they were showing a thing about with Pharaoh in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? And the people that was building the pyramids, they showed them as black, but they flickered it for a second, then switched it on to white people.
Right. That's exactly what they do. And there's even a movie. What's it called? The Gods of Egypt. The Gods of Egypt. Like now, of course, they show all the gods of Egypt as white.
Right.
All the Egyptians are white. All the slaves are white. But the only God that was black was the God of knowledge. And he was the oldest one. He was there at the beginning when they was talking about the creation of the earth.
Right.
And he wasn't no damn Hamite. He was a nigga.
Right.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? He was soft and feminine as hell, but he was still a nigga though. And I said, man, look at the subliminal in this shit. You know what I'm saying?
About that movie that came out with in 1936, where it showed all the hosts of heaven as being black people. Y'all don't remember that?
Well,
I forgot the name of it.
If you tell me the name of the movie, I might have seen it.
Oh man, and they, and the Most High was, older black man, solid white hair. You know what I'm saying? And he was talking to the angels and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? This is a movie. This is a black movie. I want to
see that.
Yeah. I forgot the name of that movie. Man, I'm gonna have to look that movie up.
Yeah, right.
But I watched it. I was with the fake Israelite group in Louisville. They watched it all the time.
Right.
But it was aired in 1936 when we had our own production company.
The only thing
all black cast, all black everything.
Our generation, the only thing that we ever seen pertaining to a white god, to a black god, is Bruce Almighty, with Morgan Freeman played Christ, right. and then what do you do? Give all the powers to the white man. Give him the Jim Carrey.
I'm gonna look it up now.
White man, the devil, the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
Let's get some more of the scriptures while Officer Rock looked that up.
Come. Genesis 41:14. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon, and said, Salakia, and he shaved himself, and changed his raiment, and came in unto Pharaoh. Verse 15. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard, Salakia, and I have heard say of thee that thou canst, Salakia.
You got it.
I said that right.
Yeah.
Salakia. Canst understand a dream to interpret it. Verse 16. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not in me. God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace.
Who should?
God.
Me.
Yahweh.
You.
Yahweh.
White man.
Yahweh.
Damn right. Understand. Listen, let me tell you something. You know what I'm saying? Every brother watching online, every brother within the sound of my voice. What we do in I.S.U.P.K. is not of us. The words coming out of my mouth ain't of me. You understand? This is of the Most High.
Right.
You understand? The work that we do is of the Most High. I didn't decide to be here. You know who allowed me to be here? The Most High.
Right.
You know who allowed all these brothers to come in this class to spread this truth? The Most High.
Right.
You understand? And that's something that Joseph understood way back then. He said, look, I can tell you this dream, but it ain't me that's telling it to you. It's the Most High. You know what I'm saying? That's what a true priest and prophet of the Lord understands, man. And you will never hear your Christian pastor do that. Your Christian pastor wants all the damn credit.
Right.
He wants all the damn credit. He wants all the damn pork. He wants all the damn money.
Right.
He wants all the damn little boys.
Right.
That's your Christian pastor. You will never hear him give credit to the Most High. If he give credit to the Most High, it's to rule you in with the collection plate. You know what I'm saying? The Most High told me to pass around his collection plate. That's what he gonna tell you. You understand? But when it comes to breaking down your dream, you understand? Once more, everybody within the sound of my voice, if you want a dream, if you have a dream and you want it broke down, call the priests and prophets of the Lord. You understand? There's one in every goddamn city on the face of this planet. Call them, tell them about your dream, and they will interpret it for you. They're gonna tell you if your dream meant something or if it didn't mean anything at all. You understand? When I was a young man in the truth, like I had very active dreams. Every time I have a dream, I come right to Cap. Hey, Cap, I had a dream. If he can interpret it, he would. If he couldn't, he'd go to the man above him and have him interpret it. You understand? That's how priests and prophets work. You understand? Like man, this priesthood is something special, man. It's something special. And they ain't interpreting it to their own will. They're interpreting it to the will of the Most High. And that's what Joseph did. You understand? Let's get some more.
Come. Verse 17. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, in my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river. Verse 18. And behold, there came up out of the river seven kind,
Yep.
7 kind, fat-fleshed and well favored.
Yep.
And they fed in a meadow.
Right.
Verse 19. And behold, seven other kind came up after them.
Just for the record, you know what kind is, right? What he's talking about when he says that?
Cattle.
Cattle. Cattle.
Cattle.
Yeah. Like cows and stuff like that.
Stuff like that.
Go ahead, sir.
It's called Green Pastures.
Green Pastures.
Right.
The movie Officer
1936.
1936, Green Pastures. That's a movie that y'all want to check out. Officer Rob recommends it. It's an old school movie showing, you know what I'm saying?
Beware though, if I will. It's called Green Pastures, but beware though, because the movie, you know what I'm saying, even though, you know, it's all black cast, all black this and all black that, you know what I'm saying? But they're, you know, singing Christian-y songs, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. It don't have the UPK, you know,
nothing has the UPK to it but the UPK.
But what they do, here's the thing about it, it was a black production company in 1936, because people trying to say, like, we got it so good now. Where our production at now?
Right.
If you come with something like that, depicting the Most High as being black, and you have an all-black cast now, you're going to get kicked out. You're going to jail.
Right. Damn right.
You're going to jail.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn right. And you know what the funny part is, man? Because I know me personally, and I know other brothers as well, because the Spirit is just on them. Like, that's one of the things that we dream about when it comes to taking over the kingdom, is remaking all these goddamn movies and putting all black cast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
UPK spirit.
Yeah, put that UPK spirit on there. You know what I'm saying? We're going to find a perfect nigga to play Christ. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're going to make sure that all the disciples is fucking black Hispanics and Native Indians from each tribe the way it's supposed to be. Like, man, we going to go hard, man. We going to go hard. We going to make things the way it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going to know, like the devils, it's going to be so useless. Like right now when you watch TV and you see nothing but devils in every damn commercial, every damn movie, every damn show, it's going to come a time when the Most High comes back and Christ comes back, man, that we beat the brakes off of these devils and enslave them and do everything that they've done to us, that we start to rebuild this world and rebuild and start to get the technology back, that every movie you watch is going to be filled with nothing but blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
Every commercial you see on TV is going to be nothing but black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The same way that you see an all-white cast with one black person, you're going to see an all-black cast with no white people. You get what I'm saying?
Right. It's like in this 1936 film, you know what I'm saying? All of the angels and all of that, when it comes to the heavenly body, was not a single white person in the heavenly body at all,
and
or
one
any
thing,
other race.
even though that was a damn Christianized film, that's one thing that they got right. That's one thing that they got right, man. Is all blacks. You know what I'm saying? Hispanics and Native Indians, man, because we all the same blood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't be black without having Hispanic and Native Indian in you. You can't be Indian without having black and Hispanic in you. You can't be Hispanic without Indian and black in you.
Right.
Get over it. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Get over yourself.
Mesh together like that. It is what it is.
Right. It is what it is. I know the Mexicans, they was afraid when, you know what I'm saying, trying to separate. But you didn't know who he was, but you know who did know?
Right.
The white man. The
Right.
white man knew who he was. Trump knew who he was.
Right.
Trump knows who he is. He knows his bloodline, and he knows yours. That's why he started doing what he did with the Hispanics.
Right.
And after Hispanics, who's next? Go ahead, sir.
Right quick. That's one of the reasons why a whole lot of Mexican brothers want to shun the Mexicans that are still black down in Mexico.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They want to shun them and try to hide them like they don't exist and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. And when you go down there, that's all you see. You know what I'm saying? The light-skinned Mexicans, the ones that look white, that's an anomaly. It's more to look like us than it is to look like them.
Right.
It's always been that way. And it always will be that way.
And that's in the whole Hispanic world.
Right.
Look at Castro. When Castro come to power, you know, in 1951. They, you know, right before when he was warring with Batista and everything, right?
Right.
You know, they was doing filming through there.
Right.
And they was showing the people that was there, and they was sitting on the porch just like country niggas. I'm serious. Everybody was sitting on the porch, drinking their little drink. You know what I'm saying?
Chilling.
Sitting there chilling. You know what I'm saying? Black is the ace of spades. He's from Manasseh. You know what I'm saying?
Most High Christ.
Look it up. Look it up.
Okay.
It's the old clip. You know what I'm saying? It's an old clip from when Castro was very first coming into power.
Right.
And this is back in the 50s. Show the people dead serious. They was straight up chilling on the porch,
chilling country style.
Right. Just like country niggas, if you go to Alabama or somewhere like that.
Right.
What you would expect to see in Alabama is what you saw in Cuba in the 50s.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That spirit.
Yeah, you go there to Alabama, you're in the 50s, what do you expect to see? A nigga sitting on the porch, sweating.
Right. With one of them little
wheat straw in his
mouth.
You know what I'm saying? Right. That's how they was.
Right. He propped up and cross chilling.
Right. That wasn't the tribe of Judah. That was Manasseh.
Right.
You know,
that's Christ, man. Like that's one thing that we can't hide. We can't hide our spirit.
Right.
You understand? If you ever wondering what somebody is, if you wondering if they're black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, I learned this from Officer Terrell. Try their spirit. Try their spirit. Say something disrespectful and see how they react.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Say that, man. I don't give a damn about African. Every African stink that I've ever came across. You know, who don't know? Not every African.
Right.
You know
right. He gonna defend Africans. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, he gonna defend Africans to the high heels. You know,
they looking like Ephraim. They kind of light skinned. You know what I'm saying? You like, man, look, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, every light skinned person, man, that I know ain't got nigga in their blood. Man, what you talking about, nigga? You know what I'm saying? They gonna get offended. Nigga, I'm full blooded. I slept. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? And here's another thing they will do too. Once you grind them real tough,
right? What
they're gonna do is they're gonna talk about what happened with their tribe in Africa. They're gonna get real selfish,
right?
And they're gonna start going just only on their own tribe,
right?
If they were the damn Hutu-Tutsis,
yeah, they're gonna bring up the whole history.
Yeah, what happened to my village in the Hutu-Tutsis? You know, and this group invaded us, and such, and they invaded us, but at the same time, they're telling you should never be angry about what happened with you.
Right.
But them, on the other hand,
you gotta have a sense of understanding and compassion.
Right.
You gotta have.
That's another way when you grind them down, you really know who the hell they are.
I remember Captain Katazar was telling a story. He was saying that some brother came into the school and trying to act like he was a Judite or he was, from Israel. He believed he was African. They said they got the blazing. I believe this was Captain Tazari after told the story. He said, you know what I'm saying, they got the blazing talking about Africans. He said, then they got up and ran out the school. Got
Right.
offended. His spirit
Right.
couldn't take
That
it.
was his spirit. Yeah, that's what he is. His
You know what I'm
spirit
saying?
got up and ran.
Always try to spirit.
Right.
You know
You're
what I'm
right.
saying?
Right. You know, sometimes you can even see it in the appearance, but sometimes you got to dig just a little deeper.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like what happened, you know, at the Chicago, at the barbecue in Chicago.
Yeah, when
you
that
know
damn Hamite tried to
Cap
run it.
saw it immediately.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
caught it off top.
Yeah, he told me.
Captain Pops was like, let's get the camera.
On that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get the camera.
In which
He
I
said,
saw
Captain
it.
Cesario about to slaughter him.
Right. But I wanted to make sure that that everything was sure when I did, and I started talking, hey, how y'all doing? He's with the sister and everything.
Right.
Like, hey, how y'all doing? Such and such.
And her spirit was so defeated.
Yeah,
she knew like, what we were saying was
yeah,
right.
Yeah, she was happy at first.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, yeah, such and such. I'm like, yeah, what tribe are y'all? She's like, well, I didn't know it was coming to a tribe, and then started to cause the red flag. And I was like, oh, yeah, you know.
So lucky if I could, because the African could immediately tell you his whole history.
Right.
He could tell you.
He was quiet though.
Yeah, I know. He was
let
quiet.
Her run. He let her go.
He was quiet on purpose.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something. Yeah. If you could trace your history back 4, 5, 6, 7 generations, you wouldn't have got damn slave. You don't descend from a race of slaves.
He know it.
You know what I'm saying? And he could do that.
She said, well, you know, but he's an African. And then that's when I looked at him. I said, you gotta go.
Damn right.
Okay, hey, she thought I was gonna be a crazy and gonna let him into the gates of heaven. She thought I was gonna let him into the gates of heaven right at the time. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I was getting ready, you know, I was like, you can stay, but he's got to go. In reality, what I wanted to say was, you can go out with this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, we already know how you are.
Right.
I told you a long time ago.
That's what I wanted.
You're the too short of this shit.
Yeah,
that's right. That nigga, Officer Trump is too short around this mug. He'll take it easy on no broad at all.
I was one of them smiling at first, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He said, you gotta go.
You gotta go. They're like, whoa, wow. She's like, wow. I'm like, yeah, wow.
Damn
he
right.
Gotta go.
Damn right.
You can stay, but he gotta go.
Right.
Like, wow, I just can't believe this.
He's black like us.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever tribe, what tribe is he? You know, who is he?
The tribe of hell.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
Hey, Curtis, I have been done. He was like, what do you mean I can't? You eating burgers, aren't you? The ham is my burger.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Give me one.
They tricky in Chicago. Them Hamites are kind of, they don't even want to tell you that they're African.
Right. Because they know.
I noticed that. You
because
know what I'm saying?
Know.
Yeah, because the troop is getting too strong there. You know what I'm saying? Where the Africans is knowing, you know, just like I was in the Uber with the Boston camp and everything. It was a Hamite driver. You know what I'm saying? I asked him, where are you from, man? He's like, I'm from Chicago. But he's had that African accent. I'm like, you know,
they killed me with
like,
that. I'm from here. I'm from America.
Right. You know,
I have my question too. If y'all want to get to it.
Go ahead, sir. I didn't see it.
Oh yeah. Edomite Slayer 144 asks Isaiah 11:1. Is that all nations?
Let's get Isaiah 11:1.
Come.
You got it.
Come.
Let's go.
Isaiah 11:1, and there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, Jesse.
Let me get there with you. Isaiah, what is it?
Isaiah 11:1. I thought it was 11:11.
11 and 11.
Come. Isaiah 11:11. Let's start, sir.
Go ahead.
Come. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people.
All right, right there. Read that again.
Come. And it shall come to pass.
And it's going to happen one day, here soon.
In that day. That the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of Salakia. The remnant of why I keep looking at of his people which shall be left.
All right, let's get it again one more time.
Come, sir. And it shall come to pass in that day.
And it shall come to pass in that day.
That the Lord
That
shall.
who?
The Lord.
Who?
The Lord.
Keep going.
Shall set his hand again the second time.
The who?
The second time.
He should do it again.
The
Keep
second
going.
time.
Keep going.
To recover the remnant.
To do what?
Recover the remnant.
Recover the remnant. Now listen, we all know what a remnant is. If you ever lay carpet in a house or something of that nature, you can only use so much and then you got some left over. That's called the remnant, right? And you hold on to that because you're like, man, I can use this for something else. Keep going.
Of his people.
Who?
His people.
Everybody.
Of his people.
Every nation.
His people.
The white man.
His people.
The Korean.
His people.
The Asian.
His people.
The Chinese.
His people.
The Japanese.
His people.
The African.
His people.
Man, the Moravians.
His people.
That answers your question. His people. Go ahead, sir.
They're going on that whole thing like, this is, they perceiving this through this whole supposedly Ethiopian Jew type of thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the way
my,
that they're
my
perceiving
family
it.
was Jews too.
Yeah. People that look at this scripture, they perceive it through that light. Like the Ethiopian Jews, what is it? The Palasha Jews.
Right.
And all of that. That's how they perceive the scripture.
But then they wear the little thing on their head like a damn Muslim and stuff.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing about it. The people, our people in these places, we'll be in the prisons.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We'll be crushed up under them so badly. You know what I'm saying?
Come.
Go ahead, Officer.
And we will be the hated of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Just like now.
Right. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We'll be the ones that they will chop our hands and arms and feet and everything off, because that's what they do to a lot of us that's still left over there. They chopping limbs off niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You just like what they did to us over here. They
Right.
were chopping our arms and hands off just like the Hamites did to us in West Africa,
Right.
chopping our arms and feet and our genitals and all
Yeah, I
that
was
stuff
saying,
off.
and to our sisters chopping
Right.
off their breasts,
Right.
so they couldn't breastfeed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they was just vicious animals, man.
Right.
This will be the people that they're doing that to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not to the
The
philosopher Jews.
rednecks, like you said, the people that
Right.
that most people who's been westernized forget about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know,
Like that's the remnants, the people that we forget about.
yeah.
Like they got it because, like the scriptures say, all of Israel will be saved. Let me tell you something. Your soul is. Go ahead, sir.
Warrior.
Go ahead.
But what people don't understand is the Africans were not stupid businessmen.
Hell no, Salaki.
You know what I'm saying? They're not dumb. They're not stupid businessmen now.
That's what I was just about to say.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what I was just about to say.
You know what I'm saying? They're not dumb businessmen now.
Right.
How many of them are giving up their little stores and everything?
Right. You
So
want to
you're
buy
not
me
gonna
out?
give up a store.
I
You're
will
not gonna
sell
give
you.
up
I will sell
all
you.
your slaves either.
Right.
You're gonna sell some of them because you're part of the global trade system.
Right.
So you're going to give a lot of them. You're going to do philanthropy, what they call philanthropy.
Right.
You're going to do that, but you're going to keep some for yourself.
Right.
Right.
And
You know
then
what I'm saying?
you giving you like you said the philanthropy. Blah blah blah. You know I can't say that word. But they're doing that as return because when most people do something, even to this day, with the white man and the other heathen nations, when they do something, they do it to receive something. It's a tax write-off for them.
Right.
The same way back then. They're going to give away so many slaves and sell so many slaves. But then when this new batch of slaves come in, I'm going to get the first pick of the litter. So I'm going to get the big, strong niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
God,
Go ahead, sir.
yeah, real talk. And and part of this philanthropy when it comes to slaves, like
Right.
say for instance, you nabbed up 1,000 slaves, 2,000-3,000 slaves, right? But then you have your other families out there, and they're of your family.
Right.
Some of those, they was given a lot of slaves as gifts for free. That's why when you go into Joel the 3rd chapter, it said, have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink.
Right.
Given a boy for harlot, they were giving these slaves,
Making trades. It was property.
giving them to them, yeah,
Right.
so that they could spread the wealth among their own. You know what I'm saying? Among their own people, the Hamites were doing the same thing.
Right.
The Somalians, they were high up in the slave trade too. Somalia, you know what I'm saying? They were big in the the slave trade, and they took a lot of their slaves and sold them to did business with the Kenyans and
Right.
the Arabs. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
man, them devils.
I mean, this was a global
Right.
thing that was going on all over. Everybody wanted Hebrew slaves. You just think about it when you go into Maccabees, during the time when we went into war with the Grecians. It said all the merchants was around. You know what I'm saying?
Damn
Waiting
right.
to see who was going to win.
Damn right. So
You
they
know
can
what I'm
buy
saying?
the slaves.
Yeah, because they was hoping we would lose. Because they understood if we lost, then they was going to round us up and they would spread us among everybody as their slaves. But when we won, they was like, oh shit, let's get up out of here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they
Yeah.
shriek back. You know what I'm saying?
They might be next.
Yeah, they're like, they God is with them now. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, so when they, you know, they talk about, you know, I mean, when it talks about that right there, I mean, they, of course, have kept a lot of them because that's their children's inheritance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what their children got to inherit.
Right.
And that's why, you know, the Somalians, you know, and all of that, they, like I was saying, they're big on that. They were big in that slave trade too, the Puttites. They were big in that. And
Right.
they played a big part of that northeastern part of the African part of the part of the slave trade.
Concur. That's such a heavy point that you're bringing up, man. You know what I'm saying? For anybody in within the sound of my voice, man, our historian in Naptown is Officer Tarap. You understand? That's the historian, the Louisville historian, man.
Right.
You know, he got all the history, man.
Right.
You understand? Like a lot of things that he break out when I was a young man, like even to this day, I'd be like, damn. You know what I'm saying? And then he's so good because it'd be suppressed memories. You will know it, but you'll forget about it because you're not constantly subjected to it every day like you are the white picture of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like you subjected to that every day. Every damn commercial, every damn movie, every damn poster, every time you Google. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't get away from it. So we start to see that and interpret that as truth. But the real truth is here in I.S.U.P.K. That's why we make it a point to say the home of the truth. And Officer Tarap is very versed in bringing out that truth. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, here's another thing, Warrior. I'm back in my old neighborhood now.
Right.
So we come down there and we start to interview people like that. We could have some fun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because those same Hamites that was there way back when I was like, not the same exact ones, but the same tribes.
They generation.
They're still there.
Right.
They're back there again. You know what I'm saying? And they know the history.
Right.
So we start interviewing them, they're going to start to tell us who we are.
Right.
Also, too.
Right. That's
and their role inside the slave trade. They're going to tell us all that.
Man, and if you ever, like I know we all be on Facebook, every now and then you will see a Hamite come clean. You will see a Hamite come clean. That's why we sold you into slavery. And you know what I'm saying? Like they tell their true feelings on Facebook because they feel safe. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's a gangster behind a keyboard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The only thing the keyboard need is a bayonet on it, and they swear up and down, they some killers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like they gangster behind the keyboard, so you'll see Hamites coming clean about the true history because they know their history and they know who they are. You know what I'm saying? That's why this truth is so important, man. That's why, like I said, every brother within the sound of my voice, every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian within the sound of my voice, join yourselves to your brothers in I.S.U.P.K. You understand? This is righteous leadership. This is righteous leadership. Commander General Yahanna, from the generals down to the captains, down to the officers, down to the troopers, down to the young men, down to the damn sisters, down to the goddamn kids. You understand?
That's right.
And if you got pets, down to them too.
Right.
Our dogs is more righteous than your dogs. Goddamn it.
Right.
Because we are I.S.U.P.K. and you're not.
That's
that
right.
simple. That's the simplest way I can explain it. You understand? This is where you need to join yourself to. This is where you need to be at. This is the home of the truth, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody can refute anything that I'm saying. And who was that had the question? Edomite Slayer?
Yeah.
Edomite Slayer. You know what I'm saying? I like the name. You know what I'm saying? I hope you really live up to the name when the Most High and Christ come back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we're going to need good soldiers, man. Because right now we're doing the fishing.
Right.
So we're going to need them hunters. You understand?
Right.
So I really hope you live up to the name, man. But in this scripture, what was it? Isaiah 11:11? Let's take it from the top.
Isaiah 11:11.
Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass
Go ahead.
in that day that the Lord shall set his his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people.
Of who people?
Of his people.
Everybody.
Of his people.
All nations.
Of his people, sir.
Listen, it's only one people that the Lord came for, and that's the Israelites. That's every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Listen, stay in these classes. I know you're always online. You always ask your questions. That's a hardcore thing. But what you got to start doing is actually taking notes and paying attention. You understand? Because the Lord and Christ only came for who?
His people.
His people. Damn right. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
You can't get every nation out of that.
Right.
You can't get every nation out of that. Matthews.
Right.
Go ahead, sir.
And it emphasizes on his
Right.
people.
That's a possessive word.
His people.
You understand?
Not talking about everybody that he claims to follow Christ and all of that. That's
Right.
That's not what that's talking about.
Right.
Right.
That's his own.
Right.
Because you know what? We being treated like, you know what I'm saying? Wherever we at on the face of the planet, we being treated like damn garbage.
Right.
Regardless of where we
Everywhere
at.
we
in
at.
China. How niggas getting treated in China?
Damn right. You see what they did to LeVar Ball, son? They said he stole some glasses. They tried to keep that nigga locked up for 20 years.
Who's son?
It's some basketball player. His name is LeVar Ball or some crap.
And he's a pro NBA player. They try to do that.
Yeah, they tried to keep that nigga for like 20 years for
Wow.
stealing some glasses. And everybody knows that everything that comes from China is knockoff.
Yeah. Oh, right.
You tried to keep him in prison for 20 years for some knockoff glasses.
Right.
Sir.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get some more on the scriptures and we're going to wrap it up and get into these prayers.
Colonel Khan. Which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush,
Damn right.
and from Elam.
Listen, they're talking about all the places that we are at. You understand? There's no place on the face of this planet that a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian isn't at. He's going to recover every single solitary one of them blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man.
Right.
You understand? And then we're going to serve the Most High in righteousness in this kingdom that He's going to put before us. You know what I'm saying? And any man that doesn't serve in righteousness, any man that doesn't want to be a part of the Most High kingdom and do what the Most High says and follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, you know what I'm going to be doing in the kingdom? I'm going to be traveling around from place to place, coming to put you niggas to death.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's going to be my job. I'm going to specialize at it. You understand? And I'm not going to charge very much either. I'm probably going to charge more people to kill. I'll put him to death if you give me 3 more people to kill.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how it's going to go down. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And this scripture right here in Isaiah 11:11 is strictly talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And another thing that you need to also understand, this is for everybody that's listening, is that the Bible is a book only for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
That's
So if
right.
you hear something that you're not sure about, just remember this. This book is for black people. You know what I'm saying? That's the simplest way to remember. This book is for black people. They can't be talking about everybody. Only way they're talking about everybody else is when it comes to putting them to death.
Right.
You understand? When it comes to ruling over them. You understand? When it comes to beating their goddamn backs the way they did our forefathers.
That's right.
You understand? That's the only time it's talking about somebody else. That's what they got coming. But blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, what you got coming, you got righteousness coming. You got mercy coming. You got the kingdom that's coming. You understand?
Right.
Right.
Now let's go back to Genesis, if you don't mind, Warrior. We got a couple of minutes before we get into the prayers.
Genesis
41 and 14.
Let's get it.
Start from the top, sir.
Start from the top.
Colonel Khan. Genesis 41 and 14. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph. Salakia, sir. Salakia. I was at 18 last, sir.
Go ahead.
Colonel Khan. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 kings, fat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in a meadow. Verse 19. And behold, 7 other kings came up after them. Salakia. 7 other kind came up after them, poor and very ill-favored and lean-fleshed.
Keep going.
Colonel Khan. Such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness.
He was saying, basically, I've seen these cattle, and these things was the worst that I've ever laid eyes on. Like he's trying to interpret this dream. So, like you said,
You want me to interject in that?
yeah, you can, sir.
Okay. I was, going into what the whole thing meant concerning the 7 fat ones, the
Right.
7 beef, the buffed up ones, that will represent 7 years of a time where the whole world.
The healthy ones was the 7 years
Yeah.
of good time. The sick ones and the ones he never seen before was 7 years of bad stock.
Right.
Bad plenishing, like nothing was going to grow.
Yeah.
And you see that he said that it was something like I've never seen before, which means this was going to be the worst of the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Like the worst, like that he'd never seen before. You understand? Let's get some more real quick. How much time I got left, sir?
We passed the time. We're going to finish up.
Most time, Christ. Can I get about 10 more minutes?
Now, prayer.
Go ahead, Warren.
Verse 20. And the lean and the ill-favored kind did eat up the first 7 fat kind.
Listen, the 7 bad years was gonna crush the 7 good years. You understand? Like it don't matter how much. If Joseph didn't interpret this dream, all of Egypt would have died. You understand? Him there, all of Egypt would have died, and more importantly, his family would have died because he had to put this stuff up to take care of everybody. Let's get some more.
Verse 21. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill-favored. As it the beginning, so I awoke.
Well, let me tell you something. Now that's hardcore. He said when they eating them up, you can't even tell that they eating them up. They didn't get no bigger, no stronger, no faster, no smarter, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it never even happened. You understand? We gonna hit 22 and we gonna wrap it up. 22 and wrap it up.
Verse 22. And I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up in one stalk, full and good.
Might as well go into 23 so we get the full thing.
Verse 23. And behold, 7 ears withered thin.
Yep, you got it.
And blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them.
Keep going. Let's go ahead and break this down, then we're gonna wrap it up.
And the thin ear devoured the 7 good ears.
Listen, the thin was devoured the 7 good. These is 2 dreams that he's breaking down. You know what I'm saying? He's breaking down 2 dreams. He's like, I'm having this dreams of 7. Like 7 good, 7 bad, 7 good, 7 bad. Keep going.
And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me.
He told it to Chris Angel.
Told it to the mind freak.
Right, the mind freak. He couldn't figure it out. He's like, I don't know how to tell you. I can't break that with that. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you.
I can levitate.
Yeah.
I can't tell you that,
Right. Keep going. Let's get some more. Let's wrap it up.
Verse 25. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one.
Is who?
Is one.
The 2 dreams. It's the same dream. Keep going.
God hath shewed Pharaoh what he is about to do.
Keep going.
Verse 26. The 7 good kind. The 7 good kind are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one.
Keep going. Let's speed through it.
Verse 27. And the 7 thin is ill-favored kind that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do, he sheweth unto Pharaoh.
We're going to end it there. We're at
We got
Genesis.
one more question I was going to answer. It's a quick one. It says, can you teach a class on how to take notes? That is a big problem for me.
Most High Christ, damn right we will. And if I could, I'd like Officer Tarap to help me with that.
Let me add one thing before you
Go
get
ahead.
into it.
Go ahead.
What you want to do?
Go ahead,
What
Cat.
you want to do is you want to get one Bible that you mainly use,
Right.
and every time you watch a video and they bring out a scripture, go to that scripture and circle it. Or highlight it. All right. And once you have, a couple hundred scriptures highlighted in your Bible, then you can make a precept book out of all them scriptures. You go through each scripture and say, oh, this scripture is about, Israel coming back. This scripture is about wives. This scripture is about Esau. This scripture is about Dan. Then you can make a book. So you need, this is how I did it. In my Bible, I circled all the heavy scriptures that I always got brought out. The heavy ones. So you go through, got all the heavy ones. Deuteronomy 28:68, Jeremiah 14:2. And then after that, go through the whole Bible and write them scriptures into a precept book. And you in the game.
Damn right. Damn right. And if that's too much for you, another easier way that I start doing it, I'll start taking it in my phone. I keep my precept book in my phone. And it's very simple. Like my precept book says stuff like John 3:16 cut. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody wants to bring out the John 3:16. When you battle a Christian, that's the first thing they say. When you talk about Christ was only for his people, well, John 3:16. John 3:16. The shit is hilarious.
And then when they go to John 2, 1 John 2:15,
Right.
they're like, oh.
But you're taking it out of context.
Yeah, exactly. They're like all stumbled, they just killed a whole,
Right.
John 3:16 doctrine.
Right. Like start taking it in your phone. John 3:16 cuts. A white man is the devil. You know what I'm saying? Israel will only be saved. Like things like that. Just take it in your phone. You got notes. Like all these phones got a thing for notes on there. If not, download it. You know what I'm saying? But also, like Cap said, you want to have your Bible where you can highlight things because when we at camp, what do you see us with? This right here. Blazing on them, crushing people's feelings, making them cry, kiss boots, all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And with that being said, we about to end class. You know what I'm saying? We are the Israelite School with Universal Practical Knowledge, starting 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohanna. Pay your goddamn tithes. You understand? Pay your tithes. Help to build this nation. Help to support brothers in Israel who can't do it. Like Commander General Yohanna, man, that's one of the most righteous brothers on the face of this planet. You understand? You know what I'm saying? All the generals, man. Like you can trust. Like these is brothers that I trust with my life.
That's right.
Every brother in I.S.U.P.K. I trust with my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I was in the world, I had a saying with niggas that I was used to hang with. I say I trust them with my life, trust them with my wife. You know what I'm saying? That was in the world, and that was a stupid thing to say. But you can actually say that in the UPK.
Right.
I trust them with my life, trust them with my wife. Because these brothers have proven themselves, man. They have proven themselves by being in I.S.U.P.K. There's no harder school on the face of this planet to be a part of. You understand? You understand the prosecution that comes from being with I.S.U.P.K. You understand? You understand the things that goes on with being with I.S.U.P.K., constantly being under scrutiny by every single solitary heathen on the face of this planet, as well as your own brothers, because we hold you to a standard here. You can't do what you want to do in here, because once you become I.S.U.P.K., you no longer represent yourself.
That's right.
You represent an organization.
Right.
You represent a nation. You understand? You represent the Most High in Christ.
Right.
That's who you represent, man. And nobody better shows you how to represent that than our generals, our captains, and our officers and our troopers. You understand? So once more, join yourself to the I.S.U.P.K. Join yourself to your brothers. You are the nation not desired. You understand?
Right.
And I'm going to try this again because I got sidetracked. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Started 1 West.
Give somebody to pass the class and give them.
Started 1 West, 125th Street under Commander General Yohanna. You understand? And with that, I'm going to pass the class to
Trooper Atazar. He's on Shamar.
Trooper Atazar. Clap it up. It's somewhere in there. Then the prayers, you're going to start at the very beginning. You got it? I think they might be at the front, Warrior.
We are the I.S.U.P.K. started our 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister have an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister.
Right.
There is another 6 months which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to tithe, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21. Malachi 3, 8 through 10 means 10% in the Hebrew, ma'asharah. 10% of every penny or of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you will like. Upcoming holy convocations, announcements, holy convocations from sheep, Ramakim and Aqua to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf.
Right.
And with that said, men of Israel, Namaju, which means to stand. Ama Mafwan Akidam, Makwa Makukwan Dam, which means rise and face the east. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Avanah. Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kadash.
Kadash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Eshah.
Eshah.
Ba'aratazah.
Ba'aratazah.
Kawah.
Kawah.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Bashemayim.
Bashemayim.
Natan.
Natan.
Now.
Now.
Ka.
Ka.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Ka.
Ka.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalakuna.
Wasalakuna.
Wawakuna.
Wawakuna.
Wasalakuna.
Wasalakuna.
Wawakuna.
Wawakuna.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Dabanaya.
Dabanaya.
Banasayana. One.
One.
Above.
Above.
Hawashayana.
Hawashayana.
Ayan.
Ayan.
Read.
Read.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Amalakwa.
Amalakwa.
Wala'ala.
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 Watch part.
Ratapar. Lawalamium.
Lawalamium.
Aman.
Aman.
The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
the kingdom come.
thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth,
In earth,
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread.
Forgive us of our debts.
Forgive us of our debts.
We forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
Lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Amen.
It's the Hakat, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashim Yahushai.
Bahashim Yahushai.
Babakashah.
Babakashah.
Latanah.
Latanah.
Hakat.
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 Larapara.
Larapara.
Kamakal.
Kamakal.
Waka'amarawa.
Kamakal.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Ladaha.
Laha.
Ha Marzarayim.
Marzarayim.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Laha. GEN.YAHANNA.
Hakayim.
Ayatayim.
Hakayim.
Cut. All right, guys. Salam. All right.
Where you at?
All right, the part.
Araka.
That's it.
Araka Brothers.
Araka.
Hatamayala.
Hatamaya.
The Garshan.
Garshan.
Bashim Yahushua.
Bashim Yahushua.
Water Aman.
Water.
The prayer for the power in English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All men of sickness.
All men of sickness.
And all men of disease.
All men of disease.
The power to cleanse the leper.
Power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the dead.
Power against unclean spirits.
Power against unclean spirits.
Cast them out.
Cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
This is the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Why Yahushua?
Why Yahushua?
Why Michael Allah?
Why Makala?
Why Anaim?
Why Zanaim?
Why does that right?
Matawayim.
Alawat Yahanna.
Alawakiyam.
Alawat Yam.
Alawakiyam.
Hasarat Yam.
Hasrayim.
Hakadazayam.
Hakazayim.
Hakayayam.
Hakayayim.
Wakim.
Wakim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bashim Yahushua.
Bashim Yahushua.
Water Aman.
The water of man.
The blessing in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushua.
And Yahushua.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Command the general Yohanna.
Command Yohanna.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Unless you wanted us to do that.
We're supposed to. We got the new curses.
I don't have a copy of it, sir.
They inside there. The curses is inside that red folder. The new curses inside the red folder.
Should be there.
In that first drawer, top. The red folder got the curses.
So lucky, sir. What am I looking at?
At the end of the.
Yeah, at the end of the prayer.
Oh, yeah, I think this is it already. Is this it, sir?
No, that's not it. It's in the same spot where it looks like the old ones. It's printed out like the old ones, but it's actually the new ones. It's not a whole lot of big alteration to it. You get that? That's it. That's it.
You got that word? Yeah.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
Heaven and earth.
And all the living things.
And all living things.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evil and curses and
Send evils and curses.
Send evil and curses.
send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
That speak against us.
Thy prophets. Thy
prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers. The
Israelite
Israelite
brothers.
and the school.
And the school.
Send evil.
Send evil.
And curse.
And curse.
And punishment.
And punishment.
And destruction.
And destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose.
And shake loose.
Treasure.
The
treasure
Of the rich.
of the rich
Of Israel.
of Israel.
That refuse.
That
To
refuse
give us to the school.
To give us to the
to the
school.
school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
Enter into thy sanctuary.
Enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evil.
Send evil.
And curse.
And curse.
And punishment.
And punishment.
And destruction.
And destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations and their
And the next
drug dealers.
Drug dealers.
Court system.
Court system.
Prison system.
Prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the government of our enemy. Israelite synagogues and armies.
Israelite synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic
The
Church.
Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Says Kamatiza.
Kamatazi.
Kamatazi.
Posse Kamatazi.
Possess Kamatazi.
Posse Kamatazi.
Possess Kamatazi.
Posse Kamatazi.
And the gay movement.
And the gay movement.
The lesbian movement.
Lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space program.
NASA space program.
Army, Navy, and Air Force Marines.
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airwaves.
And airways.
Cable access.
Cable access.
Channels.
Channels.
And the radio channel.
And radio channels.
Convict the spirit.
Convict the spirit.
Of any of thy people.
Of any of thy
That
people.
seek to stop us.
To seek to stop us.
Bring swift destruction.
Bring swift destruction.
All the heathen.
All the
That
heathen.
stand in the way.
That stand in the way.
Try to stop us.
To try to stop us.
From broadcasting your
From
word.
broadcasting your word.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues.
Let loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go out.
Cause them to go out.
To out from.
To out and from.
Through the earth.
Throughout the earth.
Consume them.
Consume them.
Let the plague shake.
Let the plague
The
shake.
house of the thief.
The house of the thief.
And the murder.
And the murderer.
Let your house shine.
Let the house shine.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And Gabriel.
And Gabriel.
Come down with the flying saucers.
Come out the flying saucers.
And punish all the heathen.
And punish all the
That
heathen.
come up against us.
They come up against
As
us.
we speak thy word.
As we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known.
Cause it to be
By
known.
all that it is.
By all that it is.
The angels that have done it.
The angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread.
Cause it to be spread.
Through the media.
To the media.
Throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake it at thy coming.
Cause the shaking is not coming.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it. Lord, which means to turn, we're going to give a salute to the brothers as always. Amajim Shabbat. Amajim. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah. Azamatah. Give a salute to the sisters. Azamatah. Salaki. Salaki. So, Amajim Shabbat. Amajim. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Azamatah.